Adam Stark here, and today I want to go over all of my digital movie purchases, my movie collection of digital movie purchases and TV show purchases that I have. I think I'm done. You never know what will happen in the future, but I think I'm done. I think I'm happy. I'm pretty satisfied with mine. I'm gonna spoil this right away. Most of these movies are Chinese movies because Chinese kung fu movies and wuxia films are my favorite. But anyways, gonna go over all these. I want to know what everyone thinks and if any of these are also happen to be on your list of favorite films as well. I will say this too. If your movie's not on this list, doesn't mean I don't like it. You just have to ask me. There's a lot of movies that I love that I don't buy because I don't know. I just don't rewatch them that often. Like I'll say this, like Denzel Washington and Edward Norton, they're great actors, and I do love their movies. I just don't rewatch them, and not in a bad way, but I just don't rewatch them that often. Like I'll take several years apart before watching one of their magnificent films again, like their 10 out of 10 films. And so it's not a diss at them or anything. I'm just saying that's just what it is. That's why I don't find myself buying their films, because I'm like, don't feel like I'm gonna watch it as often as anything else here on my digital library. So the other thing I'll say, there's certain films that are just literally not available to buy digitally, which is very, very annoying, very frustrating too. Such as I'll say right off the bat, Warriors 2, 1978, an amazing kung fu film. It's a 10 out of 10 film. You can't get it anywhere, literally nowhere. You can get it on DVD, and I understand that, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get digital movies so I can take them with me anywhere and download them on my phone through these apps. But no, that's not available. Magnificent Ruffians, 1979, kung fu film, amazing film, not available anywhere at all digitally. Shaolin Daredevils, not available anywhere digitally. 1 million years BC, I think it was 1960, 1963 or something. That's a Ray Harryhausen film. Amazing film. Raquel Welch, John Richardson. I love that film. It's nowhere to be found. You cannot download it anywhere. It's like, really? It's crazy. Have it on DVD, but still, I'll say Spellbound, 1945, Alfred Hitchcock directed, Ingrid Bergman and Gregory Peck. That one, nowhere digitally. So I don't know. Some movies just are like that for some reason. But anyways, the last thing I'll say is I'm just going to show off my things here. I'm going to show off my libraries I have. Some of them are the same, so I'm not going to show all of them. Thanks to a wonderful service. If you folks don't know, it's called Movies Anywhere. That's what the service is called. You buy a film with that. You can watch it from there, which is awesome, and download it to your phone, which is awesome. But it shares them with all the other streaming services, such as Apple TV, Prime Video, Fandango at home, which used to be called Vudu, VUDU, Microsoft Movies / Xbox, Google TV and Movies / YouTube. It's the same thing. So if you get a movie on there, it overlaps and it carries it over to your other services, which is fantastic. So that's why you're going to see so many duplicates on here. Okay, that doesn't mean I bought these movies all these times. No, it just means what I did was I ended up getting them, and because it was a Movies Anywhere purchase, it copies them onto the other things, which is awesome, which is really cool. Okay, and I already did a video previously explaining all of my favorite Kung Fu and Wuxia films, and I showed the ones I own. Since I did that video about 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 Kung Fu films, I've found some more, and I've added them, and I've purchased them now. And I'm like, sheesh, now that video seems outdated because I'm missing like a good 3 or 4 that I found after making that when I thought I was done at that time. So that's all good. Keep in mind, like there's other great stuff. It doesn't mean that this list is done. I think I'm done. I think I'm done buying movies and TV shows on here. There's a few others I'm thinking about, like Blackadder and Chicago Justice. It's stuff like just random things. But overall, I think I'm done. I think I'm complete. I'm definitely content with this. Okay. I'm just going to show everything I have, and then I'm going to try to explain my reasoning and all that. So, okay. And like I said, I'm not going to show the Microsoft Movies Anywhere app, or jeez, I'm drawing a blank. Or Fandango at Home /Voodoo, VUDU. I'm not going to show those simply because those are all duplicates, whereas these three on my phone I'm showing you right now, on my Apple TV, on my Google TV, which is the same as YouTube, by the way, YouTube purchases are the same as that, and my Prime Video purchases, those have all the overlaps, plus movies individually purchased for those specifically that were available only on them and were not a Movies Anywhere deal where you get them through where it splits them and puts them into all your services and apps. So that's why these have some individual ones as well that are not shared among the others, if that makes sense. That's why I'm only showing three. But okay, I'll just start here. Why don't I start with Google TV, which is Google Movies, and it's the same as YouTube. So if you use YouTube to buy it, same thing. It copies it on each thing. So here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to show you, just going to do it in alphabetical order. Okay. A Few Good Men. This movie, I like this movie. I love courtroom stuff. It can courtroom and trial movies and shows, whatever. I don't care if it's funny or if it's serious and dramatic. I like it. I don't know. I love that stuff. And if anybody knows me personally and knows any of the stuff that I have created, I love courtroom stuff. I created a mock trial free video game, if you will, on Quizlet.com that I've shared. It's online. You can play it right now. Okay. And I've also written 2 courtroom comedy books because I am an author. I'm an author so far at this point in time in 2025. I have published 6 books that are available in all formats, including audiobooks, and they're all free. I don't do anything on the internet for money. I'm just happy to share my talents. And I've written 2 courtroom comedies. That's how much I love courtroom stuff. So A Few Good Men, great acting in it. It's Tom Cruise with a serious role. He has some kind of wacky, kooky moments in it for sure, but I love how he played his role. He comes off as like a Jim Carrey kind of in a few scenes, which is kind of crazy for Tom Cruise. But Jack Nicholson does an incredible job. Demi Moore does an incredible job. And you get other standout performances by guests that show up. So it's just a good courtroom thing to me. And I was watching people, lawyers and stuff, react to this movie to kind of see what they think. They all seem to like it too for certain scenes. Like the way that he uses verbiage that they would use, such as quoting a doctor and then having him on the stand and kind of saying, "Didn't you say this?" And stuff like that. I like it. I don't know. It's very methodical. I like the plan and seeing it go in action. So it's a good courtroom movie. That's what it is. I like that. All right. The next is Above the Rim. I have just a small few bit of sports movies. Sports movies, listen, if I'm going to watch a sports movie and I'm going to like it, it has to do something different. That's the thing for me. It can't just be a straight-laced, it's about the sport. There has to be other stuff in it for me to like it, okay? Above the Rim is a great example of this. Growing up, Juice was my favorite film by Tupac. Not anymore. Above the Rim has absolutely passed it by a long shot. The problem with Juice is it's amazing the first time you see it, and then it's just never the same for me. That's just my opinion. This whole video is my opinion. Like, what am I saying? But anyways, Above the Rim, it has great basketball scenes, hilarious comedy, like underrated, incredible comedy. The way that they play off of each other, the way that they're in high school and they talk like they're in high school, and the dynamic of him and his mother living together and the struggles that she has to get him to shape up and stuff. And, it's just great. And Bernie Mac, rest in peace, had some hilarious dialogue in this. This was epic. And what really elevated it to me was the basketball game at the end. Well, games, because it's like a whole tournament, was just so cool to see. Basketball's not even my thing, folks. Like, I can't even name 5 NBA teams, but I like this movie. I love it because the way they're playing street ball and they're elbowing each other, they're punching each other in the middle of the ball game. It's entertaining. You can see it as funny, or you can see it as, damn, this is intense, and it works either way. Above Rim, great movie. I love this movie. I gotta be honest, there's a really cringy part at the end that I think is dumb, but it is what it is. I do love this movie. Good stuff. Clan of the White Lotus, 1980. Gordon Liu Lo Lei. I already did a whole video breaking down all my Chinese films that I own and I love so much, this being one of them. But I'll just quickly say one of the most best iconic villains of all time, Lo Lei, playing the White Lotus, White Brows Priest Pai Mei, based on the real-life legend of Bak Mei, B-A-K Mei. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but... and anyways, it's just a lot of intense action scenes, and what I like is White Brows, he fights different. He fights in a way where he is just untouchable, and that's based on real Chinese legend, where he's like air, where they said trying to punch Bak Mei, you would never land a punch. It was like hitting air, because he would dodge everything and then kill you. In this movie, he does that. He laughs at his opponents as they can't kill him. They hit him with weapons, and the weapons just break, and he just dodges everything, and then he can hit them once, and then they're down. It's just, but that sounds corny, but watch it, and you'll see, oh, this is not corny, because this is in the golden era of Kung Fu cinema, so there isn't any stupid CGI bullcrap. It looks great. All right, Clash of the Titans, 1981. I love Ray Harryhausen films. I strongly prefer practical effects over CGI. And so Clash of the Titans is a great example of this. This was Ray Harryhausen's biggest budget he's ever had in a film. So many creatures, so many sword fights, monster fights, mythical creatures fights, city destruction. I love seeing sets get destroyed in movies, not with stupid CGI, but in other ways, like the flood and stuff, and seeing the temples come crumbling down and stuff, and the fight with Medusa and the Kraken. I love this. It's just an incredible film. It's well done. It's good stuff. Crippled Avengers, 1978. Arguably, debatably my favorite movie of all time, period. Crippled Avengers, it's an excellent story about redemption and stuff, and it just has 10 out of 10, like literally 10 out of 10 fight scenes. The first 3 fight scenes, on purpose, I think, are really, easy, simple, and nothing to brag about. And I think that's how they hoodwink you, because then the rest of the movie is 10 out of 10 fight scenes that only the best of the best people in history of cinema could pull off, and that's what they did. Long takes, uncut, unedited takes in this movie with crazy fight sequences. It's a stellar performance. Best fights possibly in any movie. Dial M for Murder, 1954. If a movie isn't... The point of a movie for me is I have to watch it and be like, okay, I'm seeing cool stuff happen. I'm seeing sets get destroyed. I'm seeing cool fights. I'm seeing cool shootouts that don't look lame and stupid. I know that's vague, but that's just the way I see it. I have to see cool stuff, right? If it's not any of those things, you have to have an A111 director and some A1, A+ dialogue, and that's what this movie does. Dial M for Murder. It's a good cat and mouse game. It's a good battle of trying to, solve this and figure this out, and you know what happens as the audience watching it, but the people on the screen do not. I love it. It's an excellent movie. If you haven't seen it, you got to go see it. All right, Dirty Harry. This is I'll spoil this now, but whatever. I own 3 of the 5 Dirty Harry films. I only need the first 3. I don't need Sudden Impact. I don't need Deadpool. I don't. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to be critically honest. Dirty Harry is an incredible film. Cop films, they're either really good or I just hate them. Like, I just really hate them. This movie is incredible. All right, I love going back to 1971 when they're basing this on the Zodiac Killer. The villain was so good in this movie. that poor actor, he barely acted in anything else again because he was so terrifying. And I take that as an ultimate compliment. And he really was. He was incredible. Scorpio was an incredible villain in this. Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood with the punchlines, with the great action, with the funny dialogue, and with the wittiness, and what's the other thing I want to say, like the opening scene, it catches you in right away, and it's like you kind of wonder what it would be like to live in this world where you're an inspector in the dirty streets of California in the early 70s, and you have to deal with all this stuff. But then you kind of see moments where you're like, okay, he sounds like he's like a horrible person, but he might not be, because he's actually out there fighting the fight for us and everything. It's kind of hard. I'm not explaining it very well, but and the thing too with Clint Eastwood, look, I don't want to hear it, folks. Okay, I don't agree with like the nasty stuff that Clint Eastwood and his Clint Eastwood characters say at all. But that doesn't mean he's not a great actor. That doesn't mean the man isn't an incredible actor and director and filmmaker, okay? It's a movie. I'm not watching these things and agreeing with the things that people say and do in the movies. I just appreciate their performances. All right, Dragon Lord, 1982. Jackie Chan movie. I'm not going to lie, this might be like an 8.5 out of 10 or so for me. It has a few decent fight scenes. The end fight scene is the best one, and even that one, to me, it's just okay compared to all of his others. I've been spoiled over the years. But it has 2 sports scenes in this movie, and they're both 2 of the best sports scenes in movie history. Absolutely. Long takes of just crazy things, like a shuttlecock match, which is basically like hacky sack, where the ball can't touch the ground. And they're using their feet and their neck, and they're not using their hands, period. And they're shooting it at each other, and it to try and score against the goalie and stuff. And it's an incredible scene. You can tell this was the scene that took over 1,000 retakes to get it right, because he was that much of a perfectionist as a director. So good stuff. All right, Drunken Master, the first one, 1978. Iconic training scenes, great fight scenes, entertaining fight scenes, and kind of funny. And Beggar So, played by Simon Ewan, rest in peace, the man that did like 21 movies in a year because he had cancer and his time was coming up. So he did something just legendary like that, incredible. I actually like him more than I like Jackie's character, funny enough, in this one, but it's a great time. All right. Ed Wood, 1994. This movie is incredible. I love movies about making movies, and I think this might be like the only one that I own, funny enough. But they did such a good job. They recreated the sets so faithfully to the source material of the real Ed Wood, who made some of the worst movies in Hollywood history, and then he got like a cult following after he passed in the 80s, and then Tim Burton made a movie about him. That's what this movie is. And besides obvious weird things that he did, like make Bela Lugosi swear for some reason, they don't know why he did that, but he just decided to make him swear excessively, which was not realistic to him as a person. And then they didn't really touch on Ed Wood's alcoholism, which is why his first wife left him and stuff like that. But that all aside, it's funny as hell. The set design is excellent. It's a thorough, good time, standout acting performances. Martin Landau really shines as Bela Lugosi. He earned that Oscar. He was incredible. So, great film. Love it so much. All right, Fist of Legend, 1994. Jet Li, Jin Soo-ho. This is an excellent movie. This is just a good time. It's a great Chinese versus Japanese movie based on that time period in the early 20s or 30s, I believe. I'd have to look it up again. Yes, this is a remake of Fist of Fury that had Bruce Lee. This movie is way better than that movie, in my opinion. I don't think it's even close. And I understand it might not be as iconic or whatever, and it didn't make the box office like the way that did. I understand that. But this movie's way better to me. And It's just because of the time. They had the time to perfect how they film it. I understand that, and hopefully everyone else understands that. It has good one-on-one fights. It has good 1-on-20 fights, literally, and it even has a few weapons fights, and it has a blindfolded fight where they're both blindfolded and fighting. And Yusaki Kurata, excellent performance in this. Billy Chow as General Fujita at the end. This is my favorite Billy Chow performance. Incredible. Just, it's awesome. Look at my other video about my Kung Fu Wuxia films if you want more about it. All right. 5 Deadly Venoms. This one was 1978, actually. I don't know why it says 1979, but that's just how it comes up when you purchase it. But anyways, 1978. This movie, I have it in English. It's only in English dub on the Google TV and Movies / YouTube, which is the same thing. So that's why I only have it once here. But this one, English dub, it's an iconic dub. Here's the irony, right? So this has the Venom Mob, which are debatably my favorite actors of all time. But this is one of my least, if not my least favorite Venom Mob film, funny enough. Even though this is the most popular Kung Fu film as of the last decade, this is the most popular one. Like, you ask anybody online, this is the one that comes up the most. And yet this is probably literally my least favorite Venom Mob film, funny enough. And the fight scenes in this, they're cool, but they're not realistic, and they're not supposed to be. It's because their characters are based on animals and stuff, so I get it. They're not supposed to be realistic fights. They're climbing on walls and stuff like that. Okay, that's fine. I think what it is for me is the creepiness, the foreboding atmosphere, the elements of horror that are done very well in this, the mystery, the mystique to it. I think that's what makes this movie where I need to own it for me. It's not the fight scenes, surprisingly. I can live without these fight scenes. It's everything around the fight scenes that are really well done for me, that are really cool. So, anyways, 5 Elements Ninjas, 1982. This has a few titles. Also goes by Chinese Ninjas and Chinese Super Ninjas. This movie is debatably the goriest Kung Fu film. I'm not going to say, goriest film, because there's so much debates for that. That's like Ninja Assassin or something, but this is one of them. And this probably has the best weapons fighting scenes, period, of all time. Like, seriously. It's absolutely insane. The weapons fights in this are so damn good. They raise the bar, and then they put every other movie to shame. There's a few contenders for sure, like Crippled Avengers, Masked Avengers are definitely up there. I'm not saying it's absolutely definitive, nothing compares, but 5 Elements Ninjas, damn, is it good? It's so good. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning what they've managed to do. All right. Goodfellas. Do I need to explain Goodfellas? I hope I don't, okay? And just keep in mind, please, folks, I believe in God. I worship the Messiah, okay? I don't like or believe in any of this stuff in any of these movies. I just find them entertaining. They make me laugh, or they entertain me, or they keep my eyes glued to the screen to see cool stuff, or they entertain me by listening to great dialogue. Goodfellas was a look at time in history, and it's one of the most well-paced movies I've ever seen, period. And it's not just me saying it. Ask anybody. The pacing in this movie is so good. It keeps you involved. It's like they knew exactly what to cut out of this movie. It doesn't feel like a long movie as long as it is. It doesn't. It doesn't feel like that. Because it's that well done and that well acted. And it's just a great time. It's funny. It's got everything you want in it. It's not an action movie or anything. It's not a mystery. It's like you already know what's going to happen, but yet it keeps you engaged, and it's just funny, and everybody gives a great performance. Unforgettable. You can't pick a favorite part. 1 minute you want to say it's the prison scene where you see how they live in prison. And then next minute you're like, no, but then the scene at the dinner when the Billy Batts is in the trunk, and he's talking to his mother. Like, there's so many scenes. You can't just pick one. Incredible. All right, next, Heartbreak Ridge, 1986. Clint Eastwood, this movie. Okay, so this is a comedy movie to me more than anything else. It lightly and randomly becomes like a serious military movie near the end, and I think that's what pissed a lot of people off and made them a little bit too critical of this movie. But if you just look at it as a comedy, this is 10 out of 10. This is gold. This is comedy gold right here. I love this movie. This movie has the most Clint Eastwood punchlines and one-liners out of any movie he has ever done. Mark my words, this has the most of them. So funny. Too funny. I could quote it all day. All the characters are excellent too. All of them, and I like, another thing I like about it too is there comes a moment when the recon squad starts believing in themselves. And yes, it's still a comedy, but it takes a moment away from the comedy to be like, no, we're gonna man up right here. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna take a moment to say, yeah, I will say this. I'm definitely missing I'm definitely missing Stanley Kubrick films, because I just thought about Full Metal Jacket. I'll probably buy that eventually one day. So don't be offended not seeing it here. But that being said, I'm still very content with my list. Okay, don't get me wrong. Okay, next is Heat, 1995. Do I need to really say anything, folks? Really? Heat. Incredible. I love it for many reasons, but you get to see the criminal side of it, and then you get to see the detective side of it. Detectives trying to solve it, trying to figure out what went wrong, how it went wrong, how the criminals were able to be so sophisticated and figure it out so well, and now the investigators are playing catch up, trying to figure it out. And Al Pacino just is a great performance here. I mean, he's manic, he's going all over the place, and then Val Kilmer steals the show and scenes. Like, it's everybody is killing it. And the shootout, I mean, don't even get me started on the shootout. It's one of the best action scenes, period. Michael Mann is such a good director. I really admire his work here. All right. Next, 1978, Heroes of the East. I said this in my other video about my favorite Chinese films. This movie would be the best movie of all time if all the fight scenes were 10 out of 10 fight scenes. They're not. 2 of them I will definitely say are 10 out of 10. The rest are like 9 out of 9. And you probably think, geez, Adam, you're being way too critical. No, I'm not, because when you see all my Chinese movies, you're going to realize how spoiled I've been. That's why. But the story is great. It starts out like a romantic comedy. A Chinese man is being forced to marry a Japanese woman. And when they get arranged, they get married. They have cultural differences. It starts out like a romantic comedy. It's funny at first how different they are and how they can't understand each other. But then they start fighting, and then it becomes a serious thing, and then they're actually being disgusting and racist to each other, where it's not funny anymore. It's no longer jokes. And then the movie does an amazing tone shift where then there is zero comedy. The second half of the movie, there's no comedy. Then it's just one-on-one fights to see who prevails when all the Japanese come to China, and then he makes them fight them their style one-on-one fairly every day to prove that he's not better than the Japanese like he said he was. I'm doing a horrible job describing these movies, but that's because I'm just trying to get through my list. You can look at my other video to get a much more full explanation. Okay, Inception, 2010. Inception is an incredible film. I love it because it's a deep film. It keeps you guessing. The action is really inventive here. It's very unique. That's, I think, what gets me about it. It's very unique. It's got a great motive for the main character. You want him to see his kids again. You want him to succeed. And then the practical effects here were really well done. There is a lot of CGI, of course, but the practical effects I appreciate absolutely by Christopher Nolan. And then I just love how everybody is trying to figure out secret meanings in this movie. And I don't even agree with a lot of theories, but I think that makes it more fun, is that there's so many theories about it. Keeps it going. Great stuff. Okay. Invincible Shaolin, 1978. This movie, the fight scenes are okay. I mean, they're great as in because I bought it, but compared to the other fight scenes in all the other films in this list, the fight scenes are okay. What steals the show for me is the training scenes are really, really great. They're comical, but they're also intense, and it's really fun to see how they get to be used in practice when it's no longer in the training environment. So Invincible Shaolin, great stuff. Jason and the Argonauts, 1963. Debatably, arguably, Ray Harryhausen's best work. This has so many incredible fight scenes, landscapes, matte paintings in it. I mean, you get to see all types of fights in this with mythical creatures. And then don't even get me started on the ending. Yes, I'll spoil the ending for you, but dude, it's been long enough. He had Ray Harryhausen had to animate 7 skeletons with swords. 7 of them at the same time. He had to animate them. I can't imagine how frustrating that was to animate the stop motion for those in studio, but it absolutely paid off. His work paid off, and he was to be very proud of himself for this because it's a masterstroke. It's incredible to see. All right, I'm not going to go through all of these, but I own all the Jurassic Park movies, okay, including the extended version of Dominion, which I'm glad because Jurassic World Dominion, I disagree with people's opinions on it that say the majority is people hated it. I loved it. I don't know what, it's just me, but it's just my opinion. All opinions are different, right? But I don't know what people hated about it. It's a dinosaur movie. Guess what? There's a lot of dinosaurs in it. There's a chase scene in it, a motorcycle chase scene with dinosaurs that was very unique. That's one of my favorite chase scenes I've ever seen. It was great. Dinosaurs fight each other, and dinosaurs in unique environments. One dinosaur gets stabbed in the face. It's like, it has a lot. It's great. I love it. And the extended version was even better. You got more dinosaur fight scenes in it than the theatrical version. I saw this in theaters. So I disagree with that. Now, I'm going to, people, if they've been paying attention, I made a video a few years ago about the movies that I hate the most. Okay, and one of them was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, of course, somebody's going to say, hold on a minute, Adam. Why do you own it then? You can see on the screen right now. Because there was a package deal where you get all the Jurassic Park movies, and it was on sale. I think it was only $30 to get all 5 movies in perfect 4K quality digitally, and the extended version of Dominion. Of course I'm going to buy that. Are you kidding me? But anyways, Jurassic Park movies are examples of dinosaur movies that are in CGI, and the CGI version of these, what's really cool is they actually have animatronics for a lot of the dinosaur parts, which is really cool. So it's well done. I love them. I've seen them all so many times. And it's dinosaur movies in the modern era done right, especially Jurassic Park 1, which is like a horror movie, basically. If somehow you haven't seen Jurassic Park 1, it's basically a horror movie. It's just incredible. Okay, King Kong, 1933. This is one of the best movies of all time also. This movie, it defies logic. It's just absolutely incredible. This movie has special effects, which was done by Willis O'Brien, done so well that years later people can't figure out how he was able to do it. And there's so many scenes where they're like, okay, we know it's stop motion animation, we understand that, but we're still like, how are they interacting with other things in the environment, and the glass painting in the background? How is that there, but there's something in the foreground moving? There's so many things you can't explain. It's just so incredible. It's another masterstroke of a film. Great adventure too, just on top of all that. Mad Monkey Kung Fu, 1979. I don't know why it says 1981 here. But anyways, 1979. This movie has the most backflips I've ever seen in a movie. I think this has the number one amount of backflips in a movie, period. Not that that matters in anything, but just kind of interesting. So Chow Ho gives an excellent standout performance here. Lau Kar Long, who also directed it, and then Lo Lei and Kara Hui is back. So Kara Hui was in Clan of the White Lotus too, by the way. Sorry, I feel bad I forgot to mention that, because I love her very much. But so what I like about this is, so tragedy happens, and then Monkey, that's his name in the movie, he gets trained, and he gets trained a lot. There's some funny scenes where he's trying to get the bad guys, but he can't fight them, so he's, doing other things, pulling pranks on them and stuff. It's just funny. But then when he gets good at Kung Fu, he does some really unique fight scenes. It's not like brutal fights. It's more like, hey, we're going to show off. We're going to show just how acrobatic and flexible these actors are. As he does crazy things in this movie, and in these fight scenes. And then he does it. He kicks their asses, but then he loses to the big boss. Then he goes back and does more training. When he completes his training, then it has a really badass final fight at the end that I really love so much. Not to mention, this is the first Kung Fu or Chinese movie that has a your mom joke. I don't know why I find that funny, but I can't find another one. It has a your mom joke. Okay. Magnum Force, 1973. This is another Dirty Harry film. A lot of people like this more than Dirty Harry 1. I'm on the fence because I love them both. So I'm on the fence in a good way. Magnum Force has a great story, a great twist, and I absolutely freaking love the way it was filmed. How you don't see most of the killer when they're doing their scenes. And like the sound design is really good too. Like when he pulls up that holster and everything. I know I'm probably explaining too much and being too vague, but I also don't want to spoil this movie if you haven't seen it. It's well done, well acted, well executed, and it's a good time. And it has all the other stuff you want. It has the Clint Eastwood comedy and punchlines in it too. But then it has the seriousness of like when that mother sees her dead child and he's like trying to explain to his new partner, like, yeah, this is the job and stuff. It's a great time. Okay. Miracle. This is a hockey movie. I love hockey, and I don't love it in the way where, like, I know every stat and every whatever. It's not like that. I'm not obsessed with hockey in, like, a way where I'm like, okay, what am I trying to say? I don't know, like, more than 10 NHL teams. I don't know the stats. I don't know who's playing tonight or tomorrow or anything like that. All I know is this, though. I'm in Minnesota. We're the state of hockey because what Miracle is based on is the true story of how the USA's Olympic hockey team went against the unbeatable, the dominant Russian team in the Olympics, and we did beat them. And there's a real story. And all the players, except 3 of them, were from Minnesota, which is incredible. That's a big compliment that my state has. But it's great action, as in like, hockey action. And it's cool because a lot of people say this is historically accurate. Some critics even said that for a sports film, this is the most accurate sports film. And that's really cool. And there's a quote that Herb Brooks in the movie played by Russell Crowe. Oh my God, I said Russell Crowe. Kurt Russell, excuse me. What he said, which they said, critics said was very true. 9 times out of 10, we would lose to the Russian team, but not tonight. That's what they said. He said that was true. Like if they were going to win, it was going to be one time, and that's when it happened. So it's really cool history and really good hockey action. Mystery Alaska. This is another sports film. This is another hockey film. These films contrast so much. It's kind of hilarious. If you want to know, I will say Mystery Alaska I actually like better. Mystery Alaska, it says it's a comedy, but here's the thing, right? This movie, I wish it was based on a real story. There's a town called Mystery Alaska, okay? And this town has a hockey team. These high school hockey players and the local sheriff that play there, they're really good. They're really damn good at hockey. And a guy that used to live there, now he's big in sports and reporting. So he does a publicity stunt where he gets the New York Rangers, which if you didn't know was an NHL hockey team. He gets the New York Rangers to fly out to Alaska to play them in one big game, televised and everything for the whole world to see. And you see the game is there, and it's great, and it's intense, and it's a really good hockey action. I love the way it was filmed and stuff. And I just wish this was based on a real story, because that's such a cool story that you want it to be real and stuff. And I don't want to give away some of the comedy, but oh man, like the players, the New York Rangers that go to Alaska, they're so cold that they end up like some stay on the bench and the others like leave the game and come back like the next period because they need to be warm, like because they're not used to the cold. It's just great. It's funny and it's good hockey action. All right, North by Northwest, 1959, Cary Grant. This is a Hitchcock film. Hitchcock, who I think is the best director of all time, my favorite director. And it's just a good time. It's a good ride. It's Cary Grant with possibly his most punchlines, most comedic moments in a film. So that's great. Yeah, and it's just, he does a standout performance here. He's just really funny. The crop duster scene with the planes trying to run him over, iconic scenes in it. Crashes into a bus explodes, and it looks great in 4K. Ocean's 11, specifically the 2001 version. It's a great heist film, but what separates it for me is it's not just about doing a heist in a casino, which is something we all wish we could kind of do. Not me morally, like I don't want to steal. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't deny, like, you would be curious, how would you pull off a heist? We all think like that. How would it happen? Well, this is the movie's version of how it would happen. Whether it's actually realistic or not is fine. Does it look cool? Yes, that's why it's a movie. That's why I like it. Okay. And then the other aspect, though, that I think puts it up a notch is it wasn't just about the money. It was about him trying to win his wife back, Julia Roberts. And I think that part of it, if it was done stupidly or something, I wouldn't like it. But I like how they did it. So, okay. Now, Project A. This was 1983. Yes, there was it says the year 2000. That's because that's when it became re-released in English, dubbed or whatever. But Jackie Chan directed. Again, I went through all these movies in great detail in my other video, all the Chinese movies. But I'll just briefly say it has debatably Jackie Chan's best stunts in a film, period. Him hanging off the clock tower and falling with just the umbrellas breaking his fall is all crazy stuff. So all that kind of stuff is just incredible. And on top of that, it has some brutal fight scenes. There's one fight scene at this gang hideout where people get hit and hurt and launched down stairs, and they fall down a story, and they're not using dummies or anything. They're using real people, these actors, because you see them wincing in pain in the same shot. So it's not like they used like a dummy, like a stunt, not a stunt dummy, but like a fake body that they threw down a stairwell or something. No, like it was actually the actors themselves, and you can see them because they're wincing in pain from the fall. Like Jackie Chan hits his jaw on the staircase as he's going down backwards with his head on the top of it going down in reverse, and he's like slamming his head against the stairs. I don't know how people didn't like lose limbs. So it's an incredible movie, great stunt work, final boss fight or whatever you want to call it. It's a great job too, sword fight. All right, Public Enemies 2009. This was Michael Mann directed, Johnny Depp. Christian Bale gives an outstanding performance. This is an excellent film. It's based on the true story, if you believe the official story, I guess, because there's theories out there that something completely different happened. But nonetheless, let's just go with it. This is based on what the story, how it was reported was, of John Dillinger's life, how he robs these banks, and then how his downfall came about, and the rise of the FBI and why the FBI started and stuff was all really cool to see, really well acted. The shootouts in particular are done very well here. It has some of the best camera angles I've ever seen in an American film. Like Michael Mann just owns that. Did a great job. Okay, now we're going to Rear Window, 1954. Alfred Hitchcock again. Grace Kelly. I love Grace Kelly. I think she's the best actress of all time. Rest in peace to her. And Jimmy Stewart. Rear Window. This movie the whole thing takes place in one room, basically, and the dialogue is perfect. Like, it's just so entertaining how they fight, they bicker, how they get at each other, but then they console each other's relationship because they think there might be a murder going on in their own little neighborhood. And so it's all about that mystery and that constant suspense that Alfred Hitchcock is the best at. And so it's just a good time. It's a killer good time. There's a lot of movies on here about dialogue. You could listen to them without even watching them after you've seen it once, and you could just enjoy listening to these movies because they're that well written and that well, performed. Like Rope is a perfect example. Rope, 1948. I love Rope so much. This movie is so good. It is based on a true story, and it's based on a play. But what makes Rope special, it was the first movie to be filmed in one take. Like a play. And a play is filmed in one take, obviously. When you film a play, I don't need to tell you that. But that's what they did in Rope. So in Rope, they filmed it all in one take. It starts out in the daytime. By the time the movie's done, it is nighttime. And it's based on a sick, true story about two college students who think they're above the law and who think they're above God, basically, and they can defy him and play God. And they killed their classmate with a rope by choking him at the beginning. They put him in a chest. They put the chest in the center of the room, and then they have a party right after, inviting all these people over, knowing there's a dead body in the room. So it's the whole movie is suspense, literally. That's the best way to make a suspense movie, is have the entire movie suspenseful. And if that wasn't enough, the things that they happen to do and talk about in one take of filming is just incredible. It's incredible. So, great time. Very, very dark humor, but I love it. Rumble in the Bronx, 1996. It's a Jackie Chan movie. There is a great... This is a great example of all the fights in this movie are basically like 15-on-1 of Jackie Chan. There's a lot of chase scenes, and then there's a lot of fight scenes, and there's chasing, and then more fighting. And then this has one of the best uses of props fighting, where Jackie Chan uses all these props in this place to their best, fullest effect. He uses a pair of skis. He uses billiards or a pool stick. He uses a refrigerator, like an arcade machine. Like, he uses all these things just so well. Great stuff. Saboteur, 1942. This movie, nobody seems to know this movie. I don't know if it's just me. Please tell me. I absolutely love this movie. This movie takes you on unlike a lot of Hitchcock movies, this movie takes you on a long adventure through vast landscapes, and it's just incredible. Robert Cummings is... They think he is the terrorist that blew up this factory. It's not him, but he was there. And so he's on the run from the law. And some people are trying to help him, and some people are not trying to help him, and whatever. And he meets a girl along the way. And how he gets in and out of trouble is just hilarious at times. And then there's just so many cool moments. There's so many unexpected humor that comes out of nowhere, like when the girl that's been trying to turn him in finally falls for him and sees, yeah, he can't be the terrorist. He's a good guy. And then they're like at this house party where there's all these terrorists at all the exits, so you can't leave. And so they're having an intimate dance together. And he's like, we're just going to enjoy this moment because this might be one of the last moments we ever have, my love. And then all of a sudden, because it's like a swinging dance party, some guy just comes along and just grabs her hand, and he's like, my turn to dance with her, or something, and he just takes her. It's like unexpected humor there. But if that wasn't it, the ending is an iconic, intense ending, an amazing standoff on the Statue of Liberty. And, just like North by Northwest kind of had that same idea, but it was an intense standoff on Mount Rushmore. Both movies have incredible endings. All right. Shaolin Rescuers. I don't know why it says 1984. It's 1979 when it came out. Maybe the English dub came out in 1984. That's possible. Shaolin Rescuers. I did not have this movie on my best Chinese movies list. I hadn't seen it yet, and I am definitely eating my words. This equally might be the best movie of all time. It's so good. It's based on a real person, but it's not based on a real story. But the Venom Mob is at it again, just doing incredible stuff. And this guy is on the run, and they're trying to... Hong Si-Kwan is his name. He's on the run, and he's trying to warn the rest of the Shaolin so they can... I don't know, really... Okay, to, like, prepare or something, because Bak Mei, who in the movies they always call Pai Mei, is slaughtering them and stuff. So he's trying to, like, save the day, and he's a patriot. And so these friends reluctantly find him, and they've been practicing their kung fu this whole time, but using it on each other, not really taking life too serious. They're just kind of like being kids. I don't want to say kids, but that's the best way to put it. And then they run into him, and now they're like, hey, this is our chance to be heroes. And then they have there's great fight scenes in between, but they have one final standoff fight where this is their last shot to stop them before, I don't want to give too much away, but before the end. And the last 18 minutes of this movie is non-stop, solid action, and it's at its best. It's where there is several long takes of long one-shot sequences with no editing. In this movie, everybody does a great job. Liu Fang finally got his version of an Oscar. In America, we have an Oscar award for an outstanding performance. They have it, it's called something else where he's at, but he got an Oscar equivalent to an Oscar in his country for this movie. So that's awesome. All right. Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. This movie is a Ray Harryhausen movie. This movie, 1977, it has some great stop-motion animal fights that are really standout performances by Ray Harryhausen and his crew and everything. And there's also a stop-motion monkey that's just with the regular cast throughout the whole movie. So he was constantly making this monkey interact with the environment and with the actors and stuff in a careful and clever way that had to be painstakingly intolerable, I imagine, at times to make it work with what he was filming, to make it seem like there was actually a monkey there that was never there. So, major props. Sneakers, 1992. Dude, I never heard of this movie, okay? I'm going to tell you this right now. I never heard of this movie, not at all. And I randomly came across it when I was watching a few different movies. I had some time off. I had a lot of time to kill. I watched Parallax View. I thought it was okay. I didn't love it. I watched 3 Days of Condor. I thought it was good, and I liked it, and I liked the ending, but I didn't love it. I watched The Conversation, it was called, it was okay. I didn't love it, but I liked it. Then I came to Sneakers. Oh, and I watched War Games, which I liked. I felt like it was on its way to being a good movie, but then I just kind of, I didn't love it. But then I saw Sneakers. Dude, this movie is, everybody in the world should see this movie. And it has nothing to do with shoes. When I say sneakers, don't think about shoes. This has a stellar cast. It has Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Sidney Poitier. It just, like, what? Ben Kingsley? This cast is insane. Okay? This cast, anyways, it's not based on a true story or anything, but it's my new favorite quintessential heist movie. But it has comedy that is very sophisticated. It's not just dumb, random comedy. The comedy in here is very thorough, very thought out comedy. But it's also deep. It's a deep film because they talk about intense things like predictive programming and homomorphisms and stuff. And they really go deep into that. And this movie is more relevant today than when it came out. It doesn't seem like it was a movie made in 1992. The only time it really shows its age, like literally, is when they're using like a car phone, basically, in like a moment. But besides that, it's like this is espionage. This is hacking. This is, oh man, it's incredible. And the comedy is everything. This is Robert Redford's best performance to me. And this is Sidney Poitier's best performance to me. And this is an unexpected way of using him, by the way, in a comedic way that you would never expect. And I'm not giving that away. Incredible. And and there's a blind character in this that they use him so well. They use him with so much respect. I just love it. Very, very, very damn creative. One of the most creative movies, period, that I've ever seen. It's just such a good time. It's funny, it's intense, and then you just love the technology and the use of it and the creativity of this dream team, basically, that they have. It's so damn good. I love this movie. Everyone should see it. Okay. Next 3 on here are the Star Wars original trilogy. Okay. Long story short, okay, the original trilogy, to me, they're all 10 out of 10 films. I love them all very much. I think they're all incredible. Every single stinking one of them. They all, the practical effects, special effects from the original versions of them look so cool. I definitely prefer it that way, and without all of the re-editing over the years, I don't think they needed any of that, besides adding stuff that was deleted, such as the Jabba and Han Solo scene that was not in the theatrical version, but in one of the special editions, they spliced it into the movie. That's cool, because it had original footage of Harrison Ford's character Han Solo that wasn't in the final cut. That stuff is fine, but besides that, I didn't need any of the extra crap at all. I just love it. Besides that, it's a good story. Great characters, amazing matte paintings. I love the matte paintings that bring the worlds to life here. They're so cool. You want to go visit this place. The source material that it borrows from, there's so many things that it borrows from, all these movies, but it's done with care and with respect, in my opinion, anyway. And I just love it. The fights are good and intense and stuff. There's something about each of these 3 movies that I like better than the other ones, and it's all done well. And I love the vehicles. I love the space scenes and the vehicles fighting, and the twist in Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5. It was incredible, and it's really cool, and it's still intense to watch and everything. It's well done. I love these films, man. Okay, Strangers on a Train, 1951. Dialogue. This is such a good dialogue movie. I could listen to this movie in the background doing anything. I've seen it enough times I can just listen to it. It's just so good. You know, the tennis player Guy Haynes is on a train, and someone meets him who's a fan, and you know he's like, oh my gosh, you're my hero. You're a celebrity. You actually do things, and I love people who do things because I don't do anything. And there's so much, like the character Bruno, who is like stalking him, is like a psycho. And he just has this idea that, oh, he's automatically my friend. He'll do whatever I say. He's my friend now. And it's just like he gets in way over his head. And the movie is extremely dark at some parts, but it all works. And it's just, oh man, you got to see this. And I'll say this too. There's a tennis scene in this movie where the main character, Guy Haynes, is playing tennis in a tennis match, and he has to hurry up and wrap up the match because he is being chased by the law as he is suspected for murder, and he has to not only escape the tennis match without being arrested, but he has to get this evidence. And so this dude happens to win the match and escape, evade police, and then rush out to the crime scene. So that's why I make everybody mad when I say Guy Haynes is the best tennis player of all time. No other tennis player has had to have had a tennis match under those circumstances and been victorious. So, I'm just having fun. Anyways, Sword Stained with Royal Blood, 1981. This is an interesting Venom Mob film. It has a cool story. I like the story. It's pretty cool, but the thing for me that I like about it is it just has very different, very unique fight scenes. This is when Shaw Brothers movies were leaving from their traditional, which is the best, by the way, version of their films, is when they have long shot takes of unedited footage where they just do crazy things and fight scenes without editing anything. And this was when they were leaving that era, so they started doing more trick editing. I think it really works here. The 1-on-10 or whatever, 1-on-12 fight that they have, it's really cool. It looks absurd, but it doesn't look corny. It just looks absurd. Like, it looks ridiculous, but not in like a bad way, if that makes sense. Nothing I say probably makes sense because it's me, but that's what I mean. Okay. Taken, 2009. Specifically Taken, the extended version is what I have, which is a whole 3 minutes longer. This movie, weirdly enough, I don't love it for the action scenes because I'm spoiled with my Chinese movies. So American action movies generally fall very flat because I've been so spoiled, minus a few things here and there, like the Dirty Harry movies, or like Total Recall or True Lies or something like that. But generally, I'm just like, American movies, action, they usually just doesn't do that good of a job because I've been spoiled. Taken's an example. The action's okay. It's not that good. Like, it's not the reason for the movie. I think why I like this movie, Liam Neeson just does a great job of I kind of like how he processes things and how he's using every tool and inventing new tools on the go of how he's going to find his kidnapped daughter. And I kind of just like that part of it, really, is the methodical part of it, and just how he uses random new things as things occur and things change, how he figures it out. You know, I think that's kind of what I like about it. So many badass moments, so many moments of heartbreak and stuff, and it's a good entertaining time. I don't know. He's just badass, and it works. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, 1958. Ray Harryhausen's. This is another stop-action, incredible film. So this has the best pacing, I'd say, of all the stop-action films, besides maybe King Kong, 1933, maybe. But anyways, so many stop-motion scenes, tons of action, tons of just incredible fights all over the place, and large giant creatures fighting, and there's a dragon in this, and there's a cyclops, and there's so much. And other cool things like the genie and the little boy that goes into the lamp, they use great practical effects to make it look good, and to shrinking the princess and stuff. The practical effects here are just so well done, and what they call Dyma Vision or something. I mean, they sold it as like, yeah, we're the only ones doing this, and they definitely were. And just, I hope you understand, I absolutely prefer this type of films over CGI any day. You know, it's an awesome time. Oh, and a great sword fight too. The Avenging Eagle, 1978. I'm so mad at myself that I did not have this on my, on my best Chinese films list. This is absolutely a 10 out of 10. The Avenging Eagle, it's about a man who you see is on the run, and you're not really sure why, and he's sick, and then someone comes along and gives him water, and in return, he steals that man's horse, so he does something bad to someone who just did something nice to him. That man catches up to him and finds him, and he's about to be assassinated, so he helps him again, and then they team up, and you see a whole bunch of flashbacks. Every fight scene in this is very good, very well done, and stuff. But what I really like about it is the main character, played by T. Lung, he is not invincible, which is such a different thing, especially for a Shaw Brothers film. A lot of fights in Shaw Brothers films, not saying all of them, don't misquote me, but a lot of them, fights end in one hit, so you'll block 100 times each fighter, and then one hit will end the fight, really. Well, not in this movie. It takes a lot of differences from Shaw Brothers movies tradition. He gets hit several times. There's a part where he's using his 3-section staff, and the enemies are smart enough to stand by the tree, so then the staff hits the tree instead of them, and he falls for it. And there's a time when he hits himself in the head with a 3-section staff because of miscalculating the distance or whatever. And I like that about it. You're not getting an invincible, unstoppable character. No, you're getting someone who is flawed. He's still a badass and a great actor, and he's doing everything well, but he is flawed, and they did a good job in this movie of that. And there's great scenes of a comedy and intense suspenseful scenes, like the hotel where they're pretending to be the staff there and stuff to trick these killers. And I love it. It was pulled off very well. And I love this movie. The ending fight scene is incredible. Ku Feng, rest in peace. He just passed away. Incredible final boss fight. It's filmed very well. I love the angles. It's an amazing film. It is another 10 out of 10 film. And it's also one of the, if not the highest budgeted Shaw Brothers films of all time, which is pretty cool. Okay, The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, 1953. I love this movie so much. This was Godzilla before Godzilla. This came out before Godzilla, a year before. And this movie, it's a stop-motion giant monster film. The monster attacks a lighthouse, and that scene looks so damn cool. And then the monster also attacks... The monster also attacks this town. And when the monster attacks a town, it's really cool because Ray Harryhausen's smart enough to make the giant creature not just like a mindless killing machine. It steps on a car, and the special effect looks really cool too. But he steps on a car, and when he steps on it, he takes a second to stop and look at his giant foot and be like, oh, what did I just do? I just stepped on a car. And he like swipes the car away, almost like in a playful way, like a dog might do or something. It just, little details like that are so cool. And then them trying to figure out how they're going to stop this. There's also a shark octopus fight underwater randomly in this movie. That's really cool. It's not like something you would think you would see. It's pretty cool. So, great stuff. The Blues Brothers Extended. This is my one of my 2 musicals that I own, and I don't really need any others because this movie does it so well. It's a musical. It has an all-star cast. Yes, they're mostly cameos. I understand that. But it's an all-star cast, including cameos of legends in their amazing performances, both comedic and just good singing, good performing, good instruments, great dancing arrangements. And it's got everything you want in a musical. And if that wasn't enough, it has several car chases that are really good. And because this was done in the right era for it, you get to see a lot of things completely destroyed. They get demolished. Like, you get to see things break and like you get to see stores break and everything, and in the mall, the shopping mall, you get to see things, kiosks and shelves and all this stuff. And then at the end of the movie is actually, ironically, my favorite part, which is all these cop cars chasing the Blues Brothers. And this movie at the time broke a world record for the number of vehicles destroyed, because it was a very longer than you think, long sequence of this chase on the road. And all these cars get destroyed, and it broke a record. It's cool to see. It's visually really cool to see. It keeps your eyes peeled. All right, The 8 Diagram Pole Fighter, 1984. This is an excellent film. This movie, I don't like the beginning of it, to be completely honest, but once it hits the half-hour point, the whole movie is incredible. Then you get to see the training, you get to see him be rejected and then become a monk finally that he wants to be, and then you get to see some interesting fight scenes, you get to see some cool training moments, you get to see an intense one-on-one staff fight that's up there with the best staff fights in film history, and then you get an epic, bizarre but epic ending fight scene to just take the cake. It's a great time, and I really love the sets in this one. All right, The Enforcer, another Dirty Harry film, lots of comedy, an unexpected partner choice, and especially given the era, this 1976, he gets a woman for a partner. He does not want a partner, and he does not want a woman as a partner. But then he understands that, oh, she is taking the job serious, and it's not what his stereotypes were thinking and stuff, and they work well together in their own way. And it has some unintentional comedy that you're going to expect because they're playing off of that part of it. But it has great action. It has great stuff, and it has I don't want to say anything, but I'll just say that it definitely has some shock there that you just kind of have to see. But, it's Clint Eastwood. He's amazing. All right, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, 1974. This one is really good as well, just like The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, the first one. This one has so many great moments of stop-motion animation, which you knew that. There's a part on a boat when this statue creature comes to life with stop-motion and starts attacking them, and then there's a part near the end when I think it's called Kali or something, comes alive, and it has 6 hands. Each hand has its own sword holding it, and it even dances. And it's fighting all these guys, and it's killing them, and it's moving all 6 arms in different directions, swinging swords. And because it's Ray Harryhausen, he's doing an excellent job of animating it, so it looks really cool. Just amazing stuff. All right, The Kid with the Golden Arm, 1979. Debatably my favorite movie of all time. Again, 10 out of 10 fight scenes. It's not that long of a movie, and the action is just plentiful. It has moments of horror in it that I love, because the horror comes in, and it makes it, I don't know, it just brings it up another level, and then has crazy comedy. And what I also like is, as larger than life as these characters are, you get to see almost every hypothetical what if these two fought each other scenario, which I think is a very nice touch. Because, we always do that when we watch films, and it doesn't have to be like a fighting film, but it can be whatever. You always say, I wonder what would happen if this character played against this character, or this character fought this character in an alternative thing, what would have happened, right? This movie pretty much solves and does all that, and so many long, uncut, unedited sequences in these fights, particularly the second last fight between Silver Spear and Short Axe, when Lu Fang, a Silver Spear and Short Axe by Chang Xiang, does 4 flips in a row when the bow staff is swinging in his direction. And it's in one sequence. There's no editing. There's no trick editing. It's in one shot, one sequence. He does 4 flips in a row effortlessly, literally effortlessly. He doesn't have to like start bouncing his legs to get himself ready. No, he just does it because he's that incredible. And then the very long final boss fight, which is the longest fight in the movie, is so good. It's so damn good. This movie is a 10 out of 10. The Lion King, 2019. I love animals. This movie has very realistic looking animals, obviously. And besides the fact that they can speak and talk English, obviously. But it's animals, which I love. And they are doing things I will never get to see without this movie existing. Animals fighting each other. Animals climbing on mountains and getting hit by a stampede. And all this stuff on that. I would never see that without this movie giving me that. So that's why I like this one. I understand you probably like the original one better. But the point of making a remake is not to do the same thing. It's to do it differently because you already have your version. So why make the same version again? Do some risks. That's what they did. And I like the risks. Doesn't mean I like everything that they did. Like Rafiki doesn't hit him in the head and say, see, it was the past or whatever. Like he doesn't do that in this one. Okay, they didn't do that. And are you saying that means the whole movie is trash? No, I disagree with a lot of the hate on this. This movie, they got animals that look real, and you're seeing intense animal action, okay, that you won't normally get to see. That's why I like it. I'm going to take this moment. Another movie that you cannot buy anywhere digitally that makes me sad. It's called Roar. It came out in 1981. It was re-released in 2015 or 16 or something. They had 132 lions and tigers and cougars and panthers in this compound that were untrained, and throughout the whole movie they attacked 70 in total crew members in the film that received serious injuries. And the movie is very entertaining, and it's a great time. That movie's you cannot buy anywhere digitally. I've looked and looked. You can get it on DVD, but that's it. So that's another one. Just want to throw it out there. Okay. And, okay, The Matrix, 1999, and The Matrix Reloaded, 2003. Yes, I don't have The Matrix 3 Revolutions. Revolutions is okay. I didn't like the ending fight. And Matrix 4, I hate with a passion, so I'm not counting that one. But Matrix and Matrix Reloaded, this is CGI and gunfights done right, okay? It has enough kung fu and enough gunfights and enough sci-fi intertwined within it that I'm loving every second. Amazing action, amazing stunts, amazing fights that you love these fights. Like, no matter who wins or whatever, these fights are so much fun to see. This is nostalgic, but it's still fun to see even now because it was way ahead of its time. The way that they did these effects, like strapping, what was it, like 100 cameras in a circle so they could see Neo dodge those bullets in the first Matrix, like all this stuff, and like trying to figure out how to save Trinity and then how to save Morpheus. Like, I love it. The fights are great. Yu and Wu Ping in the first movie helped with the fight choreography, so the fights look really cool. And then the gunfights are just spectacular. Great time. I love these films very much. All right, The Raid 2 and The Raid Redemption. Okay, these movies are modern day movies, but they are filmed kind of like the golden era of kung fu films. In other words, it has the amazing fight scenes that I prefer from the late 70s and early 80s of Chinese films, but it was filmed in modern high definition cameras. Great fights, great stunts. You have weapons fights, you have 1-on-10 fights, and then you have like the intense 1-on-1 fights, and then you have intense 2-on-1 boss fights and stuff. They're just they're really good. Now watch my other video to get a better breakdown, but they're very well done. Love them. They're very gory. They have a sense of style to them. Awesome stuff. Okay, The Sandlot. This is my last sports movie. The Sandlot, I love this movie very much. I loved it as a kid. I still love it now. It's one of those movies that kind of works either way, whether you're an adult or you're a kid, that you can like. And what I like about it is not only is it a great story, but you think it's about baseball, and then it becomes a horror movie. It's about this scary dog with the urban legend of how the dog helped this guy commit a bunch of murders. And like it's like really dark, like surprisingly dark, but it's also so damn funny, and it's also a timepiece, and it's also relatable. We all want to be a kid again sometimes because of those moments when in our childhood, if you had a good childhood, where like you had some good times, and it's like, oh, remember that summer, that epic summer we had when such and such happened. That's what I'm saying, right? Like that, we love that stuff. So to see all that again is like really cool. It's well done, very funny, great humor, epic moments, and it's crazy because the movie doesn't end with like some big baseball game. No, it's actually, they did something so unique, and it wasn't about some game against a rival team. No, it was about getting the ball signed by Babe Ruth, their hero, back. And it's just so cool. Like I don't know, it works so well. It's very well done. It's a good time capsule movie too and everything, and it never needed no damn sequel. Okay, The Valley of Guanji, 1969. Great dinosaur movie. This movie I know critics didn't like it or whatever, but I love this movie. Listen to this. Listen. It has some great rodeo scenes, some circus scenes in the beginning that are really cool to see. Again, what's the point of a movie? It's to see things better than you would normally see them, or you see things you'll never see in your life, okay? You get to do that. Then, when you finally get to see the dinosaurs, this movie, someone please correct me if I'm wrong, I think this has the longest amount of, like, a longest scene of stop motion in any of Ray Harryhausen's movies. When Guanji, they say it's a T-Rex, but it's clearly like an Allosaurus. When Guanji is attacking them and like chasing them and then stops to get in a fight with the Styracosaurus and then continues the fight with them and chases them on horses and eats a few people and all this badass stuff. That scene is long, you guys. Like that I think I would put my money on it. I think that's the longest stop motion scene. And I'm not saying uncut, unedited. That's not what I'm saying. This is a completely different conversation. But I'm saying just of stop motion animated things on the screen, I think Valley of Guanji is his record. I swear it's like 20 minutes nonstop of this this stuff happening on screen. Ray Harryhausen's work. But so awesome, epic ending as well. Really cool ending. Really cool ending. All right, True Lies, 1994. This is a American action movie done right, where I'm like, okay, damn, somebody can do it. Somebody gets it. Somebody knows how to film well. This is a amazing movie of action and comedy together. So well done that sometimes you can't pick what you like better, the action or the comedy. The gunfights are awesome. The locales they go to are awesome. How it's filmed is awesome. The creativity is awesome. The explosions are awesome, but not stupid or overdone, but they're there. The chases are awesome. The story, in a way, it's like generic or whatever, but it's not corny. It's there and it's good. And then the real part of the story is when it becomes a comedy, when it's trying to figure out, his wife's having an affair on him. We need to follow who she's having the affair with. And this guy, is he who he says he is and whatever. And it's so funny, so damn unexpected. There's so many creative things in this movie that when you tell people about it, they think this is just a James Bond knockoff. Hell no. It's not at all. It's way better than every damn James Bond movie combined. Okay, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. This movie, it's a musical. It's very funny. It's good for kids and adults. Yes, it has some horror elements to it. You could debate maybe not kids anymore as you get older and see it. But I love the music. I love the use of practical effects in this. The practical effects are so cool. That's why it never needed to be remade. Practical effects are a treat, you guys. That means somebody had to take the time to build this place of all this things, giant things that look like candy that are not candy. To build this set. Like, I appreciate stuff like that. I'd rather see that than see, CGI Chocolate Factory. I don't know. Okay? Good times. All right. We're going to go over to Apple TV now. Like I said, a lot of these are going to be the same thanks to the service called Movies Anywhere that duplicates them, but there's a few others. Okay, The Brave Archer 3. This movie, it has a very cool story. I like how it progresses. I like how the character keeps getting stopped with some challenges of how to figure things out and how to move past each of these guys at their own level. It kind of comes across like a video game, kind of. But listen, the last 15 minutes, literally, is such an astonishing ending finale. It's up there with the best of all time. This fight scene is insane. It's dynamic. It's long shots of unedited, unstopped takes of crazy weapons fighting. It's astonishing. Everybody is at their A game here, and you get the surprise appearance of Guok Choi's character, which is a comical appearance, but then it's also very badass what he does too. So Don't let it, Brave Archer 3 is incredible. But I'm not going to lie, especially that ending. The last 15 minutes literally are jaw-dropping, insane. Okay, now obviously I'm going to scroll. Okay, Dragons Forever. In my last video, I said I didn't buy it because it doesn't have an English dub for digital purchase. That's true. It doesn't. It has English subtitles, but I love this movie so much I had to buy it. I did. So I did buy it. And it looks good in 4K, by the way, just so you know, if you didn't know that. Amazing comedy, amazing action. I've already broken down my other video, so I'm not going to take too much time, but amazing comedy, amazing action, and it has a finale that is extremely epic, where you got an intense one-on-one fight where they're beating the crap out of each other. Great action, great fighting, great use of like what a fight would look like, and doing the, how do I describe this with words, where they, try and trick each other into like punching now, and what's the word, like pump faking kind of, and all that. But then also has Ewan Bu's best performance to me personally. He's doing these crazy flips, crazy things. So many people get hurt in this movie in these intense, painful moments, just like in Project A, like I said earlier, where you're like, you kind of feel bad for a lot of these actors. They're literally gonna, I guarantee you some of them went to the hospital. Like, it's just like, holy crap. But that makes for a good film. I appreciate what they did for my entertainment because it looks painful, and therefore it's even better. Okay. Continuing down here. Yes, The Flag of Iron. This movie is great weapons fights, and there's a great sequence where they take a break from the clan, the Iron Flag clan and stuff, and Guok Choi's characters on the run, and then all these characters he's been seeing on a regular basis, all of a sudden they turn out to be hired assassins that he had no idea, and he has to fight off each of them one by one by one by one, in these crazy scenes that no one else could possibly do except him, because he is flexible enough to be able to survive these like twisted, and I mean twisted in a literal sense, okay, these twisted contraptions and weapons that anyone else, it would have like broken their leg, like their leg up to their head, it would have broken their leg and they would have lost the fight because they would have been wincing in pain and would have been killed. But because it's him, Guok Choi's amazing abilities in real life, he's able to survive these insane fights. It's just awesome. So, Flag of Iron, great stuff. And there's also, I should say this too, there's also a great scene of fighting chaos where there's like 20 actors on screen at once fighting at the same time. That's really cool too. I do like that a lot. Okay, obviously I'm not going to repeat. Okay, House of Traps. This movie is really good because it has some great set designs. It has a great finale, a good few fights in between. And it also has a scene I really like where these characters are pretending to be like circus performers or something, and they take like a ball and an umbrella and they like juggle it, and then they juggle one of the guys. One guy juggles another guy with the ball and the umbrella. It looks insane. But that's just a testament to their actual physical talent in real life in the Chinese opera school and stuff. Really cool stuff. I'm not going to lie, this is one of my lesser favorite Venomob films, but I do like it, obviously, because I bought it. It is still worth a watch. It's still a good time. I still love it. Hugo. I did not buy this movie. This movie and Jackass 3.5, as you can see on my screen, I didn't buy those movies. Those movies were gifted to me over a decade ago for my birthday. Like, I was sent a digital key and a gift or whatever for these movies. I've never seen Hugo in my life. Jackass 3.5 I saw with my, well, 3, I saw with my friends in the theater or whatever. Those were just given to me. I didn't actually purchase those. I just want to make that clear right now. Okay, anybody wondering. Okay. Those movies we've all seen, so I'm going to go past. Okay. The Legend of Drunken Master, also known as Drunken Master 2. So this is debatably another 10 out of 10. Not debatably 10 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10. Debatably one of the best movies of all time. One of my favorite movies of all time. Jackie Chan does an incredible standout performance in this, and Ken Lo. It just has drunken style fighting at its absolute best, where now you see this, no one else can do it any better. It's just not possible because he does it so well. It's entertaining, it's funny to watch, but the fights are really good, and it really is like the alcohol gives him super fighting powers, except it's not corny because this was made in an era where the actors actually had to act and actually had to hurt themselves in these fights, and they do. And you see it in the credits of Jackie Chan's movies. In the credits, when they roll, they show the failed takes where you see people actually get hurt. There's a part where he almost gets stepped on, and in a split second of him standing up to dodge it because of when he was drinking the alcohol or whatever, like I always wince at that every time. I'm like, dude, that couldn't have physically been any closer to hitting him without hitting him. Like it's insane. That's just one moment. One of the best finales of all time. One of the best large fight scenes of all time. There's 40 axe-wielding men that storm this restaurant that Jackie Chan and Lau Kar-leung's character are in, fighting together and stuff, and they just use whatever they can on hand to fight them off, and it's incredible. So it's a treat. It's one of the best movies ever made of all time. Life Gamble. This movie is it's hard to explain. It's okay in the beginning. It has some mystique to it, and it's like, yeah, okay, I kind of want to see what happened. But at a certain point, this film really takes off, and I absolutely love it. At a certain point, this film, there's like a game that they play, almost like they're playing at like a casino, almost like at this high table, and the guy running the show, played excellently by Wang Lung Wei, shout out to him, always a standout performer, and he's like, okay, we're gonna play this, and nobody cheats. Okay, if I say this, then you do this, and if you want to win this jade statue, then your number has to be this. No tricks and whatever, and one by one, it gets really intense as you want to see who's gonna win. And at one point, when somebody thinks they've won, they didn't get the number or result they wanted, so then they cheat and they try to kill them, and then they fight, and then they stop fighting, and then they play again, and then they play more, and then they take someone hostage, and then they deal with that, and then there's a twist that I'm not going to give away, but a very, very cleverly done twist that they did in an action twist. And I'm also going to call this the best knife movie of all time. There's so many throwing knives, and it's like, how do you film a throwing knife scene in, it says 1979, but this movie came out in 1979, but it was filmed before Five Deadly Venoms, which is 1978, so you can assume 1978 at the latest. How do you film knife throwing scenes this good in 1978? Just a testament to the talent of the whole team there. And then it has an ending, an outdoor ending in a Shaw Brothers film. Really cool, really acrobatic, really creative. The weapons are really nice. Alexander Fusheng also does a standout, stellar performance, which shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. But it's just a great time. Life Gamble, it's good. It's very intense, and I love it for that. Okay. Oh man, Masked Avengers. Listen to me, people. Masked Avengers, the other 10 out of 10 debatably best film of all time film. Very, very bloody film, very dark as hell dark film, dark subject matter film. But the fights in this are so damn good, just like the other ones I already said. Drunken Master 2, Crippled Avengers, Kid with the Golden Arm, Shaolin Rescuer, just like those where like every fight is just like, holy crap, this is so good, because it was that era where they take long takes without editing because they were that good at their actual talent that they didn't have to splice it in and change the camera angle and make it look like they did this or that. No, they just did it in one take. They were that talented. So many fights. Every one of them are excellent. The finale is in the top, I don't even know. I hate saying a top number because then I might think too hard because there's so many good films that I might, whatever. But it's in the top something of finales. Watch my other video, please, breaking this one down. But Masked Avengers is so damn good, man. It's such a great film. And okay, actually, I am gonna say another, whatever. I can break my rules. It's my own video. But Masked Avengers, there's a clever twist, not twist. There's a clever moment in this. This is one of the last movies I've ever seen of all the Venom Mob and Shang-Chi and Shaw Brothers films. By this time, you think I would know the secret little clever trick, that they do. I'm talking about plot-wise, okay? Not talking about an editing trick, plot-wise, plot trick. You think I would know. You think I'm going to be, okay, yeah, I know what they're going to do. I know what's coming. But they still managed to be so damn good, damn intelligent and creative that not fooled's not the right word. They even got me to not figure out what it was until they literally revealed what it was. And I don't want to say what that is, but I'm like, damn, shout out to them. Like, it's not like the film needed that, but that just raises it up another notch. And the villains in this movie do a great job playing their part as well. And there's so many things that just defy your eyes are just going to be going like, there's no way this is real. Like, there's a part, screw it, I'll give this part away. In the final fight scene, they always fight with these tridents, okay? And what they do with the tridents, the enemies that have the tridents, the good guys don't unless they stole one or whatever, but the enemies have these tridents. They take the tridents, they throw them across the room, and the other bad guys holding the tridents, the masked people, they catch the tridents with their tridents, spin it around, and throw it back. And it's like, what? In one take, by the way, this isn't any trick editing. They don't show them throw the tridents and then cut and then zoom in on the tridents at the other people and then cut and then throw it. No. It's in one take. And it's like, how do you do that effortlessly without even like blinking? Like, it's just insane. It's their talent is unmatched. It's phenomenal. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So this is interesting. Mission Impossible 4, 5, and 6 specifically. The other ones I like, but these three specifically I love very much. This is American-made action done right. Very clever action, and that's what sells it for me. Very clever action. It has some comedy too, but I love the stunts. Absolutely adore the stunts. The action is very, very creative. I love how they come up with things, and these gadgets are all fun, and how they already have this clever plan, and you don't know the full extent of their plan until like the last moment, and I always appreciate that part of it. They give you some idea of what they need to do, and as you're watching, then they have something happen at the last second at the end where you're like, oh, that's the part that they didn't tell me was their plan. And it just works for me. The fights are great in this one, in these three, specifically. The other movies are still good, but these three are so good I had to own them in 4K. So I did, obviously. All right, Police Story, Jackie Chan. This is one of the other, again, debatable, 10 out of 10, debatable best movie of all time movie. Jackie Chan directed, starred in it. It has the best stunts in his entire career. Absolutely best stunts. The stunts in this are phenomenal, insane. It has a lot of comedy, and the fight scenes that are in it are really good. And the finale in the mall, it is fights combined with stunts, combined with suspense, all in one. It is one of the best spectacles of cinema of all time. I don't know if it can ever be topped besides the other debatable things I've already mentioned, but because it has all three of those things, this could be the best ending of all time. It really could be. And they can't do it today. They can't, because today everything is so stupid. Everything is CGI and AI and bullcrap. Back then, people were hurting themselves and risking their literal lives to make a film look as good as it is, and it worked in this case. Police Story. Insane. Okay, keep going. All right, I'm not going to repeat myself for the ones I already said. Okay. I already said that. To Catch a Thief, 1955. This movie, 4K remaster, looks incredible. Cary Grant, Grace Kelly. It's a great time. They're in Monaco. You get to see some beautiful landscapes, some witty, funny humor. He's a jewel thief, former jewel thief, but he's not in the game anymore, but a jewel was stolen. They all think it's him. Now the police are chasing him, even though he isn't the one that did it. And that's a common theme in Hitchcock movies anyway, is to chase the man who didn't do it, but he's telling everyone he didn't do it. Anyway, it's just well done. It has a phenomenal ending, really intense, and it's really cool how people around him, when they start figuring out who he was, they don't like him anymore, but they just liked him. Stuff like that I really like. It's just kind of interesting, because that's like a real thing too anyway, with some people, like, oh, I really like you, he's really cool. Oh, but you know what? This is what his social media page says. Now I hate him, but you just liked him. It's like, what? Stuff like that kind of happens. But great landscapes, great cinematography here, great humor, great car chases. And yes, I know a lot of them were using weird effects where like the actors are like driving in front of a screen or something. Like, I know that. I'm not stupid. It's still cool. I still like it. I still appreciate it for what it was. It's well done. Total Recall. Oh man, an incredible sci-fi film with nonstop comedy intertwined as well. It's a film that makes you think. You really want to debate. Is it real, or is it a dream that was part of the package deal that he bought? We can get into a debate about this. I'll debate anybody. I'll tell you my opinion sometime, but that's not what this video is about. This video is long enough as it is. But that being said, this movie, just as a movie, is incredible. The action is so damn good. It's bloody. It's overly graphic. It's graphic to the point that you kind of feel uneasy sometimes. But that's a testament to their talent, who made this film. Michael Ironside, the iconic legend himself, is in this. I wish that man was in so many more movies. Incredible. He did a great job as the villain. He wasn't the main villain. Yes, I understand that. Shut up. You know what I mean. And Sharon Stone, who knows how to be intense and creepy, and that's a compliment, so chill. But who knows how to be intense and creepy later in the film. Just awesome stuff. The sci-fi in this is really fun. It's really cool to see the depiction of the future in this. And the action is just creative, inventive, and intense, and bloody, and gory, and crazy. I love every second of it. This movie is phenomenal. I love it. Never needed to be remade. Two Champions of Shaolin, 1980. This movie is really good too. Another Venom Mob film. It has some cool fights in the beginning that are really cool. And it has like a tournament where they're trying to draw out certain people in the tournament, so that's kind of like a ruse. And the fights are really good. And there's like one disgustingly graphic part that I don't know why they thought to put this in the movie, but whatever. It happened. And then Chin Soo Ho gives a great standout performance in this movie as well. Then there's some drama, there's some betrayals and backstabbing and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with this movie. Please don't get me wrong when I say what I'm about to say. The only thing wrong with this, and it's like the best kind of wrong you can have, where it's not like there's a literal thing wrong, but it's Liu Fang, as talented as he is, they hold him back in this movie because when he finally reveals himself as the true villain and he fights, they only let him fight in the movie for just a few minutes. Where it's like, oh man, this is Liu Fang, man. You want him to be fighting for like half the movie, if not the whole movie, you know what I'm saying? But so it is what it is. They only had him fight in the final fight, and only in like part of it or whatever, and but his acting is still great. What he had was great, but it's like he's so good, you want him more in the movie, and it's like that's the only thing. That's the worst. I mean, excuse me. That's the best kind of bad critique or whatever you can have is hey, I just wanted that guy who's very talented more, right? But still good. It's still worth it. Still a great time. Oh yeah, and Sun Chen's best performance in my opinion, because they always hold him back in every one of these movies for some reason. I don't know why. This movie, they let him take charge in one of the fight scenes, and holy crap, he does all of his best kicking. He's a leg fighter. He's debatably the best leg fighter in cinema history. And it's like, damn, they finally gave him a movie role where they just let him go and let him kick ass, literally. Flying kicks, double kicks before landing in midair and stuff. And he did a great job. It was awesome. Okay, The Young Master, 1980. This movie is also not an English dub to digital purchases. It's English subtitle. But anyways, Young Master, Jackie Chan, very funny movie. The movie starts out with a great spectacle of these two teams that fight in dragon costumes together, and they have to try and fight on this bridge and steal this thing or whatever, and that team wins it. It's a really interesting, cool thing to see that you'll never see anywhere else. So that's why they filmed it with great stunt performers and actors and acrobatic and flexible people. And then you have lots of comedy. You have some cool fights. You have some scary fights where it's almost like a horror movie for a second when the villain comes out and he starts kicking ass, just destroying people. And they film it like a horror movie, like literally like a horror movie, not like generically. And then there's a really cool sword fight where Jackie Chan, because he's so good with manipulating objects, he takes like a sword and he uses it to catch another sword, and then that sword he uses as the second sword to throw the sword, and use the sword to hold the sword, then pull the sword up and down on this guy and like show them that, like, hey, if this sword was facing the other direction, it would be slicing you right now. Are you sure you want to keep fighting me? And then there's a cool, funny fight scene where Jackie Chan's fighting Lily Lee, rest in peace to that legend, and she beats the crap out of him and stuff. And then some good cat and mouse game fighting of, the police is after him, but he's not the one that did it. He's mistaken or whatever. And then there's a weird fight scene where Jackie's like in a dress and he's like fighting these guys like dressed up as like a bum, and then he gets a woman's dressed and he's fighting, which sounds weird, but it's because it's done so well, and it's still a great fight scene. It doesn't take away from it. And then the ending, don't quote me on this, I think it's Jackie's longest fight. I really do. It's like a 20-minute fight scene. I think it's his longest fight scene. And in 4K, it looks incredible with the mountains in the background and the backdrop. It's a long fight, and it's one of the funniest fights I've ever seen. Because he's getting hurt on camera like crazy, but he's still so funny while he fights. And he's trying to fight him in all these weird ways that are not working. And it's like, I actually laughed out loud watching it. It's so funny. So shout out to him. All right. And okay, now I'm going over to my last of the unique ones, of course, which is going to be, of course, Prime Video. All right. So obviously I'm not going to read the ones that I've already gone through. So going through. Okay, Fearless Hyena. That came out in 1979. It says 1984 here. I'm guessing that's when the English dub came out or whatever. But anyways, Jackie Chan directed. It's a funny movie. It's got great comedy. It's got some weird scenes where Jackie Chan dresses up. He almost looks like Charlie Chaplin or something. And he's fighting these guys with swords. Very creative fights where it's like, how does he juggle these things? Like, as in literally juggle these things in one take. And it looks like he could do that all day. And he probably can, because it's Jackie Chan. And he does great stuff. And then the fight scenes at the end are really cool when they all have spears. He has no weapons, and he's dodging all these men trying to stab him constantly, and it just looks so cool how he's just that talented. He can just do it. And that reminds me, I just thought of this too. Snake and the Eagle's Shadow. Why in the world is that movie not available for purchase digitally? Pisses me off. I would buy it instantly. Love that movie. Okay, continuing here. All right, Forensic Files. I'm just going to scroll through quick because I got these on here. Okay, first I'm going to say this right off the bat. They do not have every episode of Forensic Files for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, every one that they do have, I bought the whole season. If you buy the whole season, it's cheaper than buying individual episodes. I've bought every season of the show Forensic Files, the original show, not the one called Forensic Files 2. That show's fine, but this is the one I need. This one, it used to be called Medical Detectives. If you didn't know, then they changed the title to Forensic Files, and it spanned like 20 years or something. It was like 1996, I want to say, to 2016, 2015, something like that. I don't know. But I love this TV show so much. This is my favorite show of all time. I don't think it's even possible that could ever change. For one, look, guys, reality is always better than fiction. It just is. A real crime is always going to be more interesting to me than the best, most creative fake crime ever. And that's no slight. I'm not insulting other shows like CSI or NCIS or whatever. They're still cool because they're fiction. So you can, in Law and Order or whatever show, you can make up the crime and make up how clever the killer is or whatever, because it's entertainment. Forensic Files, they take real cases and they show creative detective work, police work, scientific breakthroughs, unexpected plot twists, crazy things, serial killers, and whatever, the whole mix, right? But they're all real, folks. That's why this is my favorite. So you get real crimes of all types, it's not always murder. Sometimes it's kidnapping, sometimes it's arson. That can lead to murder too, but sometimes it's arson, sometimes it's what's the word? Diseases and outbreaks, like, what happened at this place. Sometimes it's hackers that got away with hacking tons of stuff and whatever. This show is phenomenal. It's always going to be my favorite, and that's why I bought all these. And it's cool because you can play them, you can download them onto the Prime Video app, if you can take them with you and watch them offline if you ever want to, or listen to it in the background if you want. And this show, it has it all. It has sad moments because, there was a victim, obviously, because it's a crime. But then there's the creative moments where you're like, dude, that's insane. Listen, I'm not kidding. I just watched an episode just on like 3 or 4 nights ago, okay, with my shorty. Look, there was this episode. There's this woman was shot by a hunting rifle in Alaska, and it was in the wintertime, and they couldn't find the bullet. They could not find the fatal bullet, but they saw that the bullet went through the victim and ricocheted off of the tree because the tree behind her had been struck. You could see it on the tree bark. So they couldn't find this bullet. They tried metal detectors and everything. They couldn't find it. So on a hunch, this detective decided to take a slingshot, folks, shoot marbles at the tree where it was hit, and all the marbles landed in like approximately this like 10-foot radius, and then he went around where those marbles landed and found the damn bullet and was able to continue the investigation. Just insane, just crazy stuff, right? And this that's why I love this show. There's so many things in here. Like, sometimes it's a clear-cut case. It's like, okay, we have a suspect, evidence, convict, and this is what he was sentenced, or she, or whatever. Done. And then sometimes you have these crazy ones where you're like, okay, there's no motive, there's no suspect, there's no fingerprints, there's no DNA. They're like, how are we going to find this, or whatever? And, like, here's another one I always think of, too. There was this one, and this is the last example, then I'm shutting up. But I'm just saying this in case you've never seen this show. You don't know what you're missing, okay? There was another one, right, where this guy who committed the murder, he didn't leave any fingerprints, any DNA, but he killed the woman in her apartment, and the blood splatter got on her mattress. When he was standing up from the crime scene, he put his hand on the blood on the mattress so he could help himself get up, like he used it as momentum to get up or leverage or whatever. His palm print was left in the blood on the mattress. So obviously, investigators want to use that, right? I mean, I'm speaking the obvious here, but right? Yes. So what happened? They tried to, and when they looked at it, the mattress had these horizontal lines because of how it was stitched. So because of those horizontal lines, they're like, yeah, we can tell it's a palm print, but we can't use it like in our investigation because of those horizontal lines, make it look too unable to configure it. Like we can't physically see it because it's too distorted with the horizontal lines. So this forensic supervisor named Eric Berg, in the episode, he went on his computer. He did a simple process in Microsoft Paint or whatever that anybody could do, not just a special forensic supervisor. Like anybody, you could do this, I could do this using free software. And it was detect pattern, horizontal lines. And he clicked on the image and remove pattern. It removed all the horizontal lines from the bloody palm print. And the palm print looked clear, crystal clear, like so clear you could tell all the ridges that they needed now. And even he was amazed it was that good. When they caught the guy or whatever, they wanted to introduce it as evidence. They were worried about what the judge was going to say because it had never been done before, and are they going to look at this as a biased evidence or fake evidence or something. And the judge said, you know what, we're going to leave it to the jury to decide. So what did he do? The forensic supervisor, Eric Berg, shout out to him, man, for solving this crime, getting this sicko locked up. He brought his home computer into the courtroom. He had all the jury members sit next to him, and he goes, look, I can show you how to do this with anything. He put like a palm print and then took a picture of it, put it on his computer, and he did it again. Detect pattern of horizontal lines, remove pattern, and he showed them in real time what he did. And then they said, okay, now that you've shown us and we see this isn't, the big bad police trying to pull one over or whatever, we're like, we accept this as evidence and this can be introduced as evidence. Boom, they convicted him easily. He got him out of here, this sicko that killed someone, got him out of here. Those are just two very quick examples. This show has stuff like that all the time. Scratching off a serial number on a gun and taking a tool inside of the barrel or whatever to distort it. Then they have this acid thing that still can read the number even though it's been scratched off of it. Like it's crazy. This show is so good, and the fact that it's based on real stuff, it makes it even better. I think my favorite season is season 6. There's an episode where they used security footage. These robbers all had masks, so you couldn't see their faces, but the security camera was able to detect a unique stitching error in this guy's jeans and able to convict him based on that. It's insane, dude. Best show ever made. No other show comes close. This is the best show ever made of all time. Very informative 20 to 22 minute program. Every episode I feel like I'm getting educated. It's just awesome. Okay, sorry, I talked way too much. Continue. In the Line of Duty 2, The Super Cops, 1985, also goes by the title Yes, Madam. This is Cynthia Rock and Michelle Yeoh. At the time, she was Michelle Khan. Their breakout movie. It's just a great time. Tons of action, nonstop. There's some cool gun action in the beginning of the movie, and then it follows up with kind of like a mystery plot. The movie kind of loses me a little bit when the three guys are kind of like fighting each other and trying to figure out if they want to be friends or not to, sell this film disc that has this, incriminating evidence on it. It kind of loses me at that part, not going to lie, but it has an insane epic finale at the end where everybody just gets to go on a crazy fight spree. So I really like that about it. So shout out to that. All right. I have all of the John Wick movies, John Wick 1 through 4. Okay, so all of these movies I love very much. Keanu Reeves' breakout performance, not breakout, jeez, I'm saying the wrong things. This is why I shouldn't do videos when I'm so tired after a long day. But it has Keanu Reeves' amazing performance, great stunts, great fights, mix of kung fu and mix of gunfights. What I really love about these films is how creative the fights are and how creative the kills are. You know, you get kills that it's like they thought of everything, literally. They thought of like, okay, well, anybody can die of a headshot from a gun, right? But how about a giant book that's shoved into your throat until you die? Like just crazy stuff like that they do. Great stuff. And then like the dogs and stuff, Halle Berry's dogs in 3. And then just so many things. Like the characters are very interesting, and it's just it's great. Like it might be the best gunfights in films, or at least it's up there. Really creative gunfights. They go all out to make these unique. They do a great job of making them stand out from other gunfights in movies. They look good, and they succeed. So great time with these movies, and they look excellent in 4K. Okay, continue with, don't want to read ones I already read. Okay, Mindhunters 2005. This, if you're watching and listening to me as long as you have been, this is going to be your WTF Adam movie. What are you doing with this? Listen, I'm not going to deny it. Technically, like this seems like it's a bad movie. It seems like it's a B movie. It seems like it's a straight to DVD movie. And for some reason, I still love it. I can't deny it. I'm not going to lie to myself. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you folks. I love this movie. It has horrible CGI, and there's just random uses of CGI that come out in this movie, but the CGI looks very bad. But that doesn't stop me from liking this movie. It has Val Kilmer, LL Cool J, and a very badass LL Cool J, I might add. These people go on this island that are in the FBI because they need to do this training program or whatever. But all of a sudden, people are actually dying around them, and they're trying to figure out who is doing it. So they're working together to try and figure it out, and they're kind of turning on each other, thinking it might be one of us doing it to us this whole time. I don't know. We don't know, and we're scared. We're dying. So it's like the way that it like goes on in the film, I can't deny it. I love it. I know. I feel like this is a bad movie. I feel like this is not a movie people would buy. But I can't lie to myself. I do love it though. I do. It's cool seeing how creative they are in trying to figure it out, in trying to do neat and interesting things to try and solve this in detective work and stuff to try and solve this, to see what they come up with. I appreciate it for those things. So I love it, even though I can understand like the CGI is really bad, and it doesn't look like, I don't know, man. I'm probably in the very minority of saying this is a great movie. I do, even with the shortcomings. I love it. It feels like one long episode of Criminal Minds, the show Criminal Minds. That's what this feels like to me. That's the best way I can sum it up. If you like that show, Criminal Minds, okay, pretend this is one episode of that happens to be as long as it is. Because that's what it is. That's what it is, folks. It's well done, though. Besides the CGI is really bad. Like, laughably bad. But, okay. All right. I'm going to continue here. Okay. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Special Edition Extended. Terminator 2, you can buy it on platforms. The only version that has the only platform that has the extended version is Prime Video. That's why I only bought it once on Prime Video. Terminator 2 is an amazing film. Amazing acting by Robert Patrick and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everybody kills it, but those two, the way that they fight each other as if they are robots, where if there's a gun, they're fighting over the gun. They're not trying to punch and kick each other. No, they're fighting for the gun because that's their primary source or whatever. It's well acted. It has moments of comedy, but the action is nonstop. It's great action, well done, and it was filmed by James Cameron, who does a great job of making the action look good. It doesn't come off as stupid. It doesn't come off as overly CGI. No, like you see cars blow up. You see a cool chase in the beginning. It's so many things about it. And then it continues the already engaging story. But I keep coming back to Terminator 2. Terminator 1 is cool, and I like it. But I honestly don't love it. This movie I absolutely love. I do. It's just a great time. It's a great journey. All right. Let's see. Oh, yes. The Victim, 1982. This movie, it's not in HD. It never got remastered or restored. So it still looks like it is in 1982, unfortunately. But don't let that deter you. This movie is so damn good. The fights are so good. Lots of long one-stop, one-takes in this film. Sammo Hung did an amazing job directing this one. And it's so cool because unlike a lot of the other of my 10 out of 10 Kung Fu films, I know I said this in that video, so I'm trying to keep it shorter in this video sake, but a lot of those ones, you get to see tons of different areas. This movie, it's like it was made on a small budget, but it still works. Despite that, you're not going to these vast landscapes. You're not going to some giant temples and mountains or anything like that. No, but yet it's still 10 out of 10 fight scenes. Like, there's fight scenes with weapons, fight scenes without. There's Sammo Hung doing a backflip, literally a backflip. It's like, holy crap. It's really cool. It has moments of comedy, but the comedy doesn't overstay its welcome or anything. Then they reluctantly help each other. There's a twist I'm not really going to get into or anything. But the fight scenes in this are really well done. And I've seen people online say, a lot of people say this is their favorite movie of all time because they say that the fighting stances are the most accurate to what they teach in their own areas of where they're practitioners and stuff, which is the biggest compliment you could get for a Kung Fu film, I imagine. So shout out to Sammo Hung for that and everybody involved in that movie. Time Lapse from 2014. This movie is I love this movie a lot. There's only a few people in this movie. It's almost like an old school Hitchcock movie where there's just a few people and just a few areas that are actually physically filmed in, like a few rooms. But the movie, as it goes on, it really gets intense as hell. And the characters, they all come off as realistic and believable. Like the creepy guy, Jasper, like, I believe there's a lot of people like him in the whole world. Okay, serious. I'm being dead serious. So, like, what happens is a tenant died. They went into his room and they found out, oh, there's a camera that takes a picture once a day. And when it takes a picture, it shows you 24 hours ahead of time what you're going to see on the camera. And when they found that out, they're like, holy crap, 24 hours ahead of time on the camera. We're like, okay, we're seeing the party that we're having tomorrow night. Okay, well, that's weird, but that's okay, whatever. All of a sudden they go, okay, what's this next picture? Oh my God, this happened. And then the pictures get more intense. And then at one point, they start doing exactly what most people would do. They start going, okay, I'm going to start writing down the scores of who to bet your money on for your bookie for betting on horse races or dog races or whatever, because if you already know who's going to win, then obviously you can bet big money and keep winning, obviously. I know I'm speaking the obvious. But so they start doing that. But then they get a picture that changes the whole movie, where there's someone else in the picture in their apartment with them. Because I forgot to mention, the camera is from their apartment window, the dead guy's apartment window, looking into the apartment window of the the people in the movie. I forgot to say that if that didn't make sense. So you're probably like, wait, where's the camera going? Looking at, there you go. But then they see a picture where there's a stranger in their apartment with them the next day. So they're like, oh my God, okay, things just got real. Now this isn't good. Now this isn't fun anymore. Now what are we going to do? And whatever. And yeah, and the dynamic of the relationship gets crazy, and they're trying to figure each other out, and they don't know if they can trust each other, but they kind of have no choice and stuff. It's surprisingly well done. I think this movie is extremely underrated and under the radar. I think this movie deserves more praise than it gets. Or maybe it does have a lot of, I don't know. It's not like I know. But at least when I've asked people if they've seen this movie, nobody I know seems to know this movie. But I think it's incredible. I think it's well done, very intense, and I'm drawn in every time. It's a good watch. All right, Top Gun Maverick from 2022. Excuse me, just burped. This blows the original Top Gun out of the water in every conceivable way possible. I don't think it's even close. Top Gun Maverick, Top Gun 2, whatever, is so damn good. I love it. I get people want to hate it. They want to say, oh, but it doesn't have this that the original had. I don't care. I disagree. I think this does everything better. And it's because they used today's technology right, again, which is a theme you're noticing, right? Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, James Cameron, like they use today's technology right, because we're not in the 70s and 80s anymore, pre-computers. Now we're in the computer CGI AI age, but they're still using it right. You're seeing aircrafts flying with these cameras rigged all around them, and they show us all sorts of camera angles and stuff. So you get to see like all these things that you never would normally see. Obviously, I know I'm speaking the obvious, but you get to see like crazy intense action that like in the skies, you get to see them shoot each other down. Yes, I know like the explosions might be real, but like people dying, you're not seeing people dying in real life. It's a movie. I get that. But they engage the story in the right way. It's intense. It's crazy. I love seeing things at high super speed that you'll never see in real life. You'll never see that. You'll never see a Mach 10. You know what I mean? You'll never see that. And it also has underrated comedy. It's surprisingly really funny at parts. You know, shout out to them. You know, and I get, you know, in one way you might say, okay, it's a generic, like, we have another country trying to do this that we need to stop problem. I get it. That's always going to happen, though. Like, come on. You have to expect that. But how they did the action, bro, how they filmed the action was just awesome. So, shout out to that. They did it well. Okay. And that completes my lists. That's what I got, folks. So, that is what I have. Those are all the movies I own. And like I said, doesn't mean there's not other movies I like. Okay, I said the ones along the way. The Stanley Kubrick films, Edward Norton films, Denzel Washington films and stuff. And some Chinese films that are not available for some reason. There's other stuff. I'm not saying that I own every movie I love. That's not what I'm saying. But the movies I own in all three, three of these because they have unique ones, whereas the other ones, like I said, just have duplicates from the Movies Anywhere thing. But anyways, all these ones, listen, they have what I want. They have these movies that I think are so good that I know I'm going to be watching within a year's time, okay, and having a good time, all right? That's why I bought these. That's what makes them stand out. They're either 10 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, or 9 out of 10, right? Okay, like they're that good. It doesn't mean that there's other movies out there that I don't also love, you know, like the ones I just said, and ones that are not even available for purchase for Lord knows what reason. I don't know why. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. So I want to know, rate my list. Folks, what do you think of my list? Or is my list completely way different than anything you would have picked? Because I imagine that's probably a thing, too. You're probably like, okay, whoa. Like, my list involves, you know, Mark Wahlberg and whatever, and Dwayne Johnson, we're like, okay, mine's way different than your list, Adam. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know. It's fun. I think this stuff is fun. I think it's fun to see where everyone's head's at, what we think, and what we're different and indifferent about in these things. So I just want to know. I'm just curious what you think. But yeah, this is my movie purchases. So I want you to rate. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about my movies and what you think. Give them a rating. Tell me which ones you agree with that you personally would purchase as well or have purchased. Or tell me which one of these you think I am absolutely out of my mind for owning. For example, I have in case anybody's curious, I have a decent DVD collection as well. But once videos started becoming in 4K and stuff, I just started buying digitally and stopped buying DVDs. Unless the DVD had a code. Some DVDs come with, or Blu-rays come with a code to get it anyway. Some of these films were like that. Like the Mission Impossible 4 and 5. They had a code, for example, on their DVD discs. So did To Catch a Thief. That had a digital code, for example. But anyways, no, I'm curious what everyone else thinks. I know what I think, obviously, because it's me. I'm curious what everyone else thinks. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. This was fun. Let me know how you rate everything that I said. And let me know where we disagree at. And let me know what do you think I'm just absolutely missing. I think that'd be fun too. Thank you, everybody. Take care.